Okay, here we go. I'm talking to Rock from Within Destruction, and we're going to have a bit of a chat here about everything. So if you wait here for 20 minutes, you'll hear about everything. That's everything. Okay, how'd the band come together in Slovenia, Rock, 10 years ago? Where did it all begin?
Yeah, so it actually started here in Slovenia. The band kind of formed from a high school band. So there was this event at our high school where if you had a band, you could actually play at like I don't know, a school event thing. And me and a couple of other classmates all played instruments, and but none of us were in a band at that time. So we just, said, hey, that's a really good opportunity. Let's try it out. And yeah, we just picked up our instruments and we started practicing some cover songs. And yeah, we played a few shows, and yeah, that was fun. But that was just playing cover songs, and eventually, it never went anywhere. So we kind of had a falling out, and our drummer at that time kept on practicing at a rehearsal space, and I was listening to him practice all the time, and I was just like, "Yo, you're getting really good, dude. That sounds really awesome." And he was just like, "Yeah, and if you ever want to come in, practice with me or just mess around, that's totally fine." And I was actually playing guitar at the time, and I was, playing songs at home, practicing myself as well. And I was just like, yeah, dude, let's do that. And we were both listening to the band As I Lay Dying at that time. So that was kind of like the catalyst that brought us together with our music
Which
interests and
which band
everything.
which band was that?
As I Lay Dying.
Oh, As They Lay Dying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And yeah, that was kind of like the band that brought us together, and we started playing cover songs from As I Lay Dying, and eventually we just started writing our own songs, and we recruited another guitarist and a bassist, and we were missing a vocalist, so it took us a while to get a vocalist as well. So
And that all
actually,
led that all led to the
yeah.
2016 album.
Not at that time, because at that time we were just still kind of like not fully formed as a band, because the band members we had, they were good, but they weren't really as serious as we'd hoped them to be. So it kind of back in 2012, I think it took us
Oh,
like 4 years to kind of solidify the lineup. And yeah, like you said, that eventually led to the
in 2016.
um yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That sounds pretty cool. So you had a pretty, I talked to some bands and, they got together and 6 months later, they had a hit. So you had a bit more of a traditional, work your way through the process. So that's interesting. How would you describe your sound? Some have said innovative metal, whatever that is. What's that mean?
Uh, I think, yeah, we've had quite a bit of transformation, if that's the word I can use. So I guess, yeah, a lot of our old fans are confused or not sure how to describe us now, but I guess, yeah, maybe you could say innovative, um, maybe you could say more like a mixture of deathcore, metalcore, and maybe some electronic music as well. Yeah, I think it's really hard to place it in one box. It's kind of like spread out through several genres, I guess.
And that's carried across all the way, or you've that it's evolved to that? It's come from something to evolve to that, or it's basically been the same and you've just got better at it.
Oh, it's evolved through the years, yeah. So it's I almost every other album, with the exception of maybe one or two, has a different sound to its previous record. So yeah, it's been kind of like a constant evolution of our sound. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. And just quickly before I get onto the EP, your performance has done the same? It's sort of evolved over time to be something different, or it's predominantly just got better at doing the same sort of thing? You know, are your shows different
Uh,
5 years ago, sort of thing?
yeah, I think it definitely had to evolve because our lineup was always kind of changing. We went from being a full five-piece band to a four-piece band to actually at one point we were only a two-piece band and we had to actually hire a session guitarist for tours. And now we're for the past, I don't know, I think 4 years we're trio. So yeah, it's definitely been an adjustment because having five people on stage to having two people to
Makes a
three
big
people,
difference.
it's
Yeah, makes a big.
yeah, it's always a different thing.
Okay, your latest single and EP, Incomplete's just been released. What's that all about?
Yeah, so the single Incomplete is from our upcoming album Animetal. And yeah, it's basically it's an animated music video or visual, whatever you want to call it, and it's basically talks about so if you just look at the music video itself, it's kind of like showing a person dealing with grief from seeing their or losing their loved one. But it kind of if you look at it from the outside, it kind of generalizes to how a person deals with stuff they lose or just in general how they deal with mourning or stuff like that.
Okay, okay. And so do you bring out an EP or have you just been bringing out tracks?
Oh, so these are actually, we've released four singles and they are all part of our upcoming album that's
Okay,
called
and a
Any
medal,
Metal.
and a medal,
Yeah.
yep. And which do you like best?
I think personally, I enjoyed Cyber Girl the most, so that's the one that we released before Incomplete, just because the whole music video, I love the aesthetics, I love the story, I love just the whole recording process of the music video was super fun. So yeah, I think that one's my favorite.
That's good. And so have you been performing them yet, or is this Santa Metal tour going to be the first time you perform them?
Yeah, we've actually been performing all the new singles we've released, with exception of Incomplete, which is gonna be actually
Part of this
the
tour.
first. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so you've got Anna Metal coming up here in April next month.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking forward
Yes.
to? Have you toured here before?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, this is actually gonna be our third time in Australia.
On your own, or to come down for metal festivals and stuff?
Uh,
You've done
excuse me.
tours. You've done tours on your own, headline
Oh, yeah, yeah,
tours,
yeah.
or are they been, because we've got a lot of metal festivals that happen here that people come on down for, you know.
Oh no, no, we've done, yeah, the whole tour. So we did that twice. Yeah, both Perth and the whole
So what do you like? Where do you like
New Zealand.
most? Where's the best? Tell the fans here, piss off half a dozen states or four states and, make one state happy.
I think yeah, every city has been actually really
Very
cool.
political, very political.
Yeah, yeah. But if I had to pick one, not only based on the show, but based on the city vibe as well, I think I really personally really enjoy Melbourne a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. I'm in Melbourne at the moment. I lived in Sydney, but I think we won about most livable city for about 8 years in a row. So it's not only the weather's pretty mild, the environment's mild, the fans are pretty straightforward. The traffic's pretty normal when you consider it to
Mm.
LA or major cities around the world. So it's a pretty livable sort of place. I agree, but I'm biased. So if you had a 30-second pitch for why people should come to the tour, what would you say?
Yeah, I would
What's your
just say that
elevator
it's
pitch?
yeah, I think it's just the perfect opportunity to have a first-hand experience of our, album right before it gets released, because we're gonna play a lot of basically all of the currently released songs of that album. We're also gonna play some of the songs of our older records, so it's gonna be a a complete mixture of old and new songs. And I think our old fans and our new fans are all gonna be able to find something to enjoy on this tour.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah.
good. That's good. If you could perform with any music artist, alive or dead, who would you choose and why?
Wow. Yeah, the first person that came straight to my mind because you said alive and or dead, it would probably be Chester Bennington with Linkin Park,
Of course,
definitely.
of course,
Yeah,
of course. What a band! What a band!
yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. There'd be a few, I'm sure, if I gave you some time and you sat, you could probably make a list of 20 or 30, and maybe you'd cross genre as well. You might jump up on stage with Freddie Mercury and,
Oh
just
yeah.
so no, that's good. Lincoln Park, phew, what a super band.
Hmm.
Okay, is the band still got long-term aspirations? And what?
Uh, yeah, so what we're trying to do is kind of set our band, our music, our style, our image apart from the industry so that immediately when you see our album, when you hear our music, when you see our band, you immediately know, okay, that's within Destruction. Prior to that, we've kind of written music that's it was good. We liked it at that time, but it was hard to distinguish from what was already in the industry. So I feel like our main goal, our main inspiration for the future is to just try to evolve our sound to the point where it's indistinguishable. So, like I said, immediately when you see something, when you hear something, it immediately clicks, okay, that's within Destruction. You're not just like, okay, I've heard this sound like 10 times or I've seen
That's
this
good.
thing, yeah, 10 times before.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good objective rather than have an outcome focused base where you're trying to get bigger or try and play bigger places or whatever, to try and evolve the music so that it becomes, unique. I think that's a
Yeah.
pretty good
So
aspiration.
it's basically kind of like a brand, if you want to, say something like that.
Okay, what if you were like you've been around now? It sounds like you've been around now for something like 15 years or whatever. So,
Yeah.
what's the advice you'd give now that you've been through um, changes to streaming, changes to technology, changes to even performance? Because we went through COVID where nothing happened and then we came back. So this round of touring in the last few years has been a bit more, people understand what they were missing. So it's been a bit more impactful in some ways. So what advice would you give to an artist starting out if they were listening to this interview?
Yes. I think while technology has evolved and it's opened a lot of doors for musicians and artists as well, I feel like it's also become maybe a bit of a roadblock for a lot of people because it's just, there's so many things you can do. There's so many things you could improve with new technology, with new whatever programs or whatever. And sometimes musicians may be overwhelmed, like thinking, "Oh, I need to do it like this. I need to do it like that. I need to do this, and that before I can even put my music out there because we're not, if it's not like this, then it's not even worth it." I guess my one of my tips or suggestions or recommendations would be to just not worry that much about it and just put a lot of effort obviously into what you're doing. Try to make it as best as possible, but try not to nitpick and put it out there
Yeah.
so that people can consume it, can give you feedback, and you'll actually gain more from
Yeah,
that
yeah,
than just keeping it, to
yeah.
yourself and trying to perfect it. So
I
I
think
think
that's
that's one
good
of the
advice.
most important things, to just put it
Hard
out
work,
there and let it. Excuse me?
hard work. Get out of
Yeah,
your
exactly.
head,
Yeah.
get out, perform every chance you get, perform everywhere, perform to anybody, just
Yeah.
perform. And like you were saying, develop your craft so that it becomes unique through that performance. And performance is where you bake in the customer. You might, social media might be somewhere where you feed them in between performance, but it's going to be performance that sort of gives you a following. And performance is the thing also that motivates the money people to sort of say these people have potential. So because basically, that's one place where you can actually see what a crowd does.
Yeah.
The fact that they respond to social media, they got 1,000 people or whatever, it doesn't mean that people are going to pay the money. If they turn up, they've paid the money. So that's a pretty
Yep.
good signal. So I agree with you. Well done. Okay, what's the best thing about performing to a live audience?
Oh, I think the main thing is the energy exchange, just even if you're feeling really bad that day, the moment you step on stage, you play your first
Click.
song or whatever, and you see the crowd, light up, it's just out, you immediately feel 100% better. You feel like on top of the world, and I think that's one of the best feelings you could have in the world.
What's been the career highlight so far?
Let me think.
You had to pick one.
Um, I think, right.
The
The,
Grammy
the first
Award,
thing, no, no,
the
nothing like
Academy Award.
that.
No, not yet.
Maybe in the future, but I personally really enjoyed one show we've played. I think it was like a three, maybe 5,000 cap, and it was actually New York City on top of a building. So it was open air, but on top of a building, and it was, yeah, a really, really
The
crazy
Beatles.
experience.
The,
Yeah.
the Beatles, eh? Their last concert, their last performance on top of
Yeah,
the building.
kind of like that.
Maybe that wasn't in New York, but no, New York's a great place anyway. But
Yeah, yeah.
that would have been fantastic, massive.
Mm.
Okay, I'm going to finish off. We've got a few minutes left. I'm going to finish off with some sort of quick questions. So I'll finish off with some favourites in a sec, but I've got three questions for you first that are a bit personal. What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
Oh,
Now you got to remember you got to travel here. So if the police are listening, if it was, I killed three people and buried them under the backyard, you probably won't get in. You won't get a visa.
yeah. The thing is, it's actually really hard for me to think of anything that crazy because I'm not that much of a crazy person.
Look, I tell
Um,
you, this is a 20-minute interview. If I had an hour, don't you worry, I'd get to crazy. I know you'd have crazy there that I could pull out. All right. What's the one topic we won't worry about it because ultimately it's sort of got to come, or if it doesn't come, you're going to create something that's not going to be too crazy. People might think, you put
yeah.
Vegemite on peanut butter or something like that, and people are going to say, "Oh well." What's the one topic you can talk about for hours?
Oh, that's probably gonna be either gaming or anime, anything related with that. Yeah, I'm a super nerd.
What's your favorite game? You a Warcraft
My
man?
favorite, my favorite game of all time is Final Fantasy VII.
My nephew created a game,
Oh,
uh,
nice.
Chamber, which was a game about um, you know philosophy or something or other, and he made big money out of it, obviously. But who doesn't? If you create a game these days,
Yeah.
good night. So yeah, so that's good. I've got someone here that plays World of Warcraft all the time, competitively all over the place, and so they're up half the night, and you're walking past, and the activity, the speed, and I'm thinking like,
Yeah.
God, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're going to go to bed. You're not going to be able to. What's the thing you like most about yourself?
I think maybe that I'm a bit of an introvert, I guess. I feel like that's, I don't know, maybe a unique thing for an artist because most people expect, especially
Groupies.
frontmans to be, yeah, something like that. But I'm just more like,
They're all
mellow, more like a background kind of
conscious.
personality.
If you're
Yeah.
conscious, most conscious peoples are what you'd call introverts, or they understand that solos really their connection with life is solo. Okay, quick. Favorites. Favorite album.
Oh, I think it has to be Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park.
Oh, favorite artist.
Chester Bennington.
Favorite movie.
Oh, that's a good one.
But all the rest were
Maybe
bad.
let's go with just the Harry Potter franchise.
Well, favorite place to visit.
Japan.
Just after Australia. Remember, you haven't got here yet. Just after Australia.
Yeah.
Favorite venue to play.
I have to say Masquerade in the States.
Yeah. What city?
I think it's Atlanta.
Atlanta, Georgia. Favorite
Yeah.
food.
Uh, Ramen.
Ramen's good. Favorite drink.
Actually, Celsius energy drink. I
Okay.
like those a lot.
Favorite person in history apart from me.
Um, does it have to be a historical person or can it
Short
also be?
answer. It can be anybody. It can be
Okay,
a mum. It can be a
let's,
dad. It can be, you know,
yeah,
Gandhi. You can be whoever you want.
then I'll just say my sister.
Good on you. She's inspirational. In
Yeah,
the next 40-minute interview, I'll find out why. Favorite tattoo?
I don't have one.
Well, then that's it. So you don't have a favorite. All right. We hit the mark. Now share the YouTube.
Oh yeah, so it's just within destruction. If you type that into YouTube, you'll find us.
Okay. Share. I'll send you the YouTube video because we're going to do pods and all that. Now YouTube's down because we've sort of changed it, and so we haven't got many subscribers at the moment. So we're going to build it up again. But if you help us, and if you want some publicity, come see me. Just send some stuff and say hello or whatever. Because collaboration,
Okay.
I think, in the music industry, collaboration's what it's all about, and that's how you get openings and opportunities and all that sort of gear. All right, bud. Thank you very much. Have a great
Thank you.
tour. Have a great time, and we look forward to having it come on down here. That's it.
Hell yeah.
Have a
Thank you.
have a good interview next. See you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.